It is the start of the month, so we all know what that means. It's time to talk about recommendations for great level design and game development reading. Hey everyone, you're joining me, your host, Max Pears, and I hope you are playing and or making the games that you all love. Now, as I mentioned, this is the beginning of the month, which therefore means it's time where we get to talk about all the new and exciting content that amazing developers around the world have put together for us to go out and enjoy. So we're talking about 4 different sort of reading materials that I recommend to all of you amazing gurus to check out, which I think is very much worth looking into. And now that we've got that out of the way, we're going to jump into numero 1. And this can be found up on Gamma Sutra. This is using UI as means to tell story, conveying emotion and create personality. Now what it's referring to here, and again I don't want to give too much away because I do recommend this, and all of these will be in the description down below. Now what it's recommending when it's talking about this is about how do you use UI to convey emotion. What can we do with the text, with the imagery of the UI to help tell the story, to help fit in with the narrative. Now you'll see many games do this, whether it be your Final Fantasy by choosing a certain font, maybe it's how you play that in itself. Some great horror mobile games, for example, create an interface, a fake interface that looks like the UI of something similar to Android or iOS, something that you can actually see. And again, it makes it feel like you actually have someone's phone in your hand. So it's by using these elements here, by taking in and thinking about the world that you actually want to be delivered in, and actually bringing it to you, the player, well, should we say the player, for them to get in. And as soon as they see it, they kind of get a sense of what this is going to be about, how this game, how this game is going to be used, or should we say, portray a certain feeling or maybe even emotion with that. So that's one of the ones there. And I do recommend checking that one out. I do think this is just such an integral part of making a great game, and UI can be used in many different ways. And it breaks it down here, and again, far better than I can do, and I think it's worth very much a read. And that there is the very, very first one from us. Next comes from the lovely, lovely man, Michael Howe. Now he is the lead level designer over at massive Ubisoft Entertainment, and they're known for the Division franchise and whatnot. And he talks about creating a narrative design document focused on a Last of Us example. Breaking down here, and it's a really good article, I really have enjoyed it, talking about how when you're creating a level, how to firstly block this out, but also tie this in with the narrative itself. Making you think how you can make sure that the levels reflect the narrative, and creating the correct documentation in order for you, the player, to do so. And by doing this, creating these documents that you can have a better time blocking out and making your levels. He also mentions about how you can do quick blockouts, but this time using Google SketchUp. I know a few designers who do use that, and it's a very quick and handy tool that allows people to create something quick and iterate fast before actually jumping into the editor or a 3D software such as Maya or Max. And yeah, by using this, you'll be able to create a better, stronger narrative as well. I think it's really great that he's also focusing on The Last of Us as well, simply because that has some of the strongest, levels with narrative, that they really capture the feelings throughout the levels, whether it be the obstacles in front of it, the way that Joel and Ellie are feeling, stressed through the challenges that they find themselves, when to do high or low pacing, all of this that goes into it. And I think that's a really great job that, just he's done. I've enjoyed reading this article. I think there's a lot in here, and just collecting correct references, all of this, pacing graphs, and much, much more. So yeah, I do recommend this one here for all of you amazing people. Hey everyone, This video is brought to you by the great sponsor of NordVPN. I'm sure many of you are aware that NordVPN is a virtual private network service. This allows you to surf the internet practically invisible, protecting your privacy and security. And as many of you know, I have been traveling a lot around the world, and this service has helped me make sure that I have stayed connected with you and all of the latest gaming news, with over thousands of servers and in 62 countries as well. And what makes it even better is the fact that it has 24/7 customer service, which makes sure that they can help you even if you have any problems. If you want to join into this and make sure that you are connected and also have great security, then you can do so by following the link down below. And what's great with this is I have the service, and with this link you can actually get a huge discount off for 3 years, making your purchase so small, honestly, that it is just fantastic. And what's even better is that they have a risk-free 30-day back money guarantee. So if you don't like the service, then no worries, you can make sure that you get your money back. But as I said, I use them, my friends use them as well, and with the link down below, you can use them and they're great service as well. So thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. Now we're going to go on to the third one. And this here, since we're on the theme of Naughty Dog and The Last of Us, is by a designer from Naughty Dog, none other than the very, very nice Michael Barkley. Now, he's a very friendly guy. I had the very much fortune to meet him at E3 last year, so he's a phenomenally friendly dude, even though he's Scottish. That's a joke there for anyone. Always a bit of banter between English and Scottish, but he's a very, very good dude. And I think he was one of the first that started out the hashtag Blocktober, which is always great, and we are coming closer to that as we speak, so it's always good to understand, or to give praise, should I say, to those who are doing this. Now, this one here is a collection of his kind of own design Bible, what he believes, and I agree with it, helps create great levels. What is it you should think about? What are the kind of processes that should be going through your mind when you're creating a level? And this is on nextleveldesign.org. Some of you may already be familiar with the site. I've worked with them before, I've shouted out to them before. A great site that I think is going to become an even bigger resource for level design as time goes on and moves forward. But yes, back to the actual author himself, Michael. He does a great job here talking about a few things in this with themes, different kind of pacing, whether you do this, how you do such things as pacing graphs, as we mentioned in the previous one. Also signposting, all of these little tips as well. How do you do level boundaries? All of these things that help make a great level. And these are the ones that we should be thinking about as well, like when you're thinking about your level, these are the things that you should keep in mind and consider when creating it. As I've mentioned before in different videos and different articles, and these two that I've just mentioned here, the second and third one, are very strong on that prepping before you even start to block your level out, thinking about how do you make a good plan, a strong plan, the pre-production before you even get into production. I think it's a really important aspect to level design that is getting more and more treatment, and more people are talking about great ways to do this and how to do correct planning. So again, I recommend this one strongly. I think there's always something to learn from these amazing designers out there. Fantastic work as always. And now we're going to go on to the final one itself. And this one is by the Design Doc. I've recommended a few of his videos before. I do think he does some great videos. The editing is really well done, but that's not why we're talking about it. We're talking about it because in this video, he talks about Final Fantasy IX, how to pace a game. I've talked about pacing in some of the other examples. But I do enjoy hearing, and I'm playing through Final Fantasy IX. I haven't played it before. I'm going through it on my Switch currently, and how they pace different points of it. I don't want to give away spoilers because there are some spoilers in the video. If you haven't seen number 9, I don't mind, obviously, because I'm very late to the game. But chatting about similar things that they did in Final Fantasy VI, where it looks like the bad guy has won or achieved their goal, and how they pace that one through it. And then how do you do the aftermath? How is it that you keep the player going? How is it that you create tension, even though certain goals, whether it be the players or the villains, have been achieved. And also, another thing on this one, how, because in a lot of JRPGs, there's always what seems to be the boss and then the overall arching puppet master, if you will. So again, talking about this and how to pace it. So I think that's a great one to help people understand, again, the importance of pacing. We've spoken about before, pacing graphs. You'll see that in both 2 previous articles as well as a tweet I've done before. So I always think that one's great to see there. Now we're going to wrap things up here because it's late right now and I'm going to go make my food and get ready for beddy buys. So yeah, that's going to sound weird. But anyway, I hope you are all having an amazing time and thank you very much as well. And I look forward to chatting to you all very soon. So take care and I'll catch you all next time.